CPIB Deputy Director Teng Khee Fatt and Law Professor Tey Tsun Hang, who faces 6 charges of corruption in the sex for grades case, disagreed on a few points about the April 5, 2012 meeting when Mr Teng took to the witness stand for the first time on day 8 of the trial. First, Tey told the court on Monday that he had knelt before CPIB Deputy Director Teng Khee Fatt out of desperation when they met in Mr Teng's office on April 5th. Professor Tey said he had shown Mr Teng a $2,500 cheque in his chequebook and asked him to show it to Doreen Koh, the intended recipient of the cheque, and find out for himself what her response would be. However, Mr Teng denied that Tey had told him about this. Second, Professor Tey told the court that at the same meeting, he was in such a desperate state that he was sobbing, crying uncontrollably, and even kneeling before Teng, pleading with Teng in Chinese, 请你高抬贵手, meaning, please have some mercy on him. Mr Teng again denied that the above incident had taken place. Mr Teng revealed that he was promoted to the role of Deputy Director of CPIB Special Investigation Branch last April, the same month when the investigation into Tey's case was underway. Mr Teng said he did not meet Tey on April 2nd when Tey was first picked up by CPIB and was only briefed about the status of the investigation. He did not ask for Tey to be handcuffed at the hospital and order for Tey's unconditional release when Tey was warded. He also did not instruct his officers to return to the hospital on subsequent days. Earlier in the day, CPIB Special Investigator Mr Michael O said in court that he was the one who instructed his colleague Edwin Ilengovan to handcuff Tey to his hospital bed when the professor was admitted to A&E. His explanation? At that point in time, Tey was under our arrest and in our custody. We are responsible for his safety. The medical officer will need to check him without our presence. That's why I instructed that Tey be handcuffed. This contradicted his senior colleague Wilson Khoo's previous testimony in court. Mr Khoo had said his team decided to handcuff Tey to the bed for some 3 hours at the request of a nurse who told them to do so as she was concerned about the safety of her fellow staff members. Another officer who was present, Edwin Ilengovan, also gave the same reason. Mr Teng said he knew that Tey had returned to CPIB to record a statement with Chief Investigation Officer Tey Tsun Hang after he was discharged from the hospital on April 5th, only when he saw Tey in Mr Bay's office that day. When Tey asked him, "Didn't it occur to you to stop the recording of statements when you saw that I was in hospital pajamas?" Mr Teng said he did not want to interrupt the session. Mr Teng also claimed it was Tey who requested to meet him twice that same evening. First, to complain that Mr Bay was impatient with him, and subsequently to show him his chequebook. Tey had his first 2 statements recorded by Tey Tsun Hang and Wilson Khoo that day. He had his 3rd statement recorded by Wilson Khoo on April 10th, and more than a month later, on May 17, he was summoned to CPIB again to have his 4th statement recorded by Mr Teng himself, as Mr Teng thought his junior officers had not clarified certain issues with Tey. Mr Teng went on to record 2 more statements from Tey on May 18 and 24th. When the prosecution asked Mr Teng why he had taken more than 6 hours to record Tey's 4th statement, he said he had a long list of exhibits to verify with Tey. When Mr Teng was asked to explain why Tey had remained in his office for close to 3 hours after the completion of Tey's 5th statement, he said it was because Tey had to read through the statements carefully before signing it. Stay with us for more updates on the trial.